So what am I doing, and why am I doing this? I am highlighting Jesus Christ's omnipresent face in many, many different things. Why am I doing this? Because I feel like our ancestors went wrong somewhere, and Jesus Christ's real message, his optical promise of letting us see him while the world does not, has been trampled upon by false Christianity. So as a result, nobody expects to see Jesus Christ's face in anything, let alone everything. And that is what I hope to prove to the viewer today, that we can indeed see Jesus Christ's face in everything, just like he promised in Luke 17:24. For the Son of Man in his day will be like the lightning, which flashes and lights up the sky from one end to the other. So I suppose people are waiting for him to eat a lot of donuts so that we can see him like the lightning lights up the sky from one end to the other. And that's obviously wrong. We're not supposed to wait for him to eat a bunch of donuts so that he can be really fat, so we can see him like we see the light from lightning that lights up the sky from one end to the other. He was talking about, and I'm going to prove this to you right now, seeing his face and everything. And I'm going to use this famous painting in Mexico and throughout the world called the Virgin of Guadalupe, which I do not believe is a miraculous painting, and I despise that it was used to convince ignorant farmers and peasants to attack military forts with rocks and sticks while they were being fired upon by firearms, including cannons, while the priests of the Catholic Church said that this painting would protect them from death. And it obviously did not. Probably hundreds of thousands of poor ignorant farmers died, and the church continues to rub it in Mexico's face today. So here I am, showing you God's omnipresent face 101 times in this painting, hoping that you will see the light that every human being has the God-given right to see their Creator's face. So let's begin with example number 1. Let's zoom in on it. Zoom in on the area. This is the original, or a photo of the original. I can zoom in on the paint. Then I'm going to zoom out. And I'm going to go to the next part. Keep your eye on that paint, because I'm going to show you with the new tools that I've got that I'm just highlighting his eyes here, his nose, his mouth, and his beard. So just look under what I've highlighted, and you'll see the first example out of 101 examples that I've got, without turning the painting left or right, of God's omnipresent face. So get some popcorn if you're interested in seeing this. That was example number 1. Let's zoom in on example number 2. Right here. Now I have to zoom out so I can take off the paint. And then zoom in again to highlight it. I should just play some kind of music or something. But I did not do that, so you're going to have to bear with me. Zoom in. And yeah, I wanted to zoom out because I wanted to show you without the paint. Alright, so I have to just a minute, just bear with me. Okay. I'm doing the first one in English because the target audience is Spanish. So you also get to learn how I got to learn how to use this program. So you can see the part that I highlighted for you. I'm going to do it again with transparent ink. So here's the beard. And you'll notice a pattern. The mouth is highlighted in red, and the nose is highlighted in green, and the eyes are highlighted in light blue. Okay, so keep looking at that while I erase the paint, and there's your next example. I've got 101, so I hope you've got some time to look at your creator's face. I hope that you don't just underestimate how important this is for you and your life. Don't mind the fact that I forgot to erase some blue paint up there, and look here. See his eyes highlighted, and his nose, and his mouth, and his beard. So I have to zoom out, take off the paint, zoom in, and maybe you can see it without the paint now. Maybe you're getting good at that. But I'm going to do it again. I'm going to highlight his eyes right here. This is going to be a little interesting. Okay, this whole big horn area is his eye, and his right eye, and this is his nose. And of course, we have red for his mouth, and yellow for his beard. Some people might say, look, his eyes are always blue. Why are his eyes blue? His nose is green, and his beard is yellow, so I'm not being prejudiced or anything. I have blue eyes, and it shows the contrast real easy. So maybe you should take the gigantic beam out of your own eye before you start criticizing me for showing God with blue paint on his eyes. Okay, that was, oh, I'm messing it up, sorry, bear with me. Okay, that was another example, and I've got a lot of homework to do. So this is just a profile. His eyes in blue, nose is green, and his mouth is red, and beard is yellow. So I will take off the paint for you, and then we're going to go in for a closer look with the highlighting tool. So his beard is the yellow parts, his mouth is red, I wish I had a rectangle, and his eyes blue, and his nose is green. So this is the omnipresent face that I've been seeing since 2002. Ripe old year of 2002. God has let me see his omnipresent face and everything. And I'm very grateful for that. And I believe he wants me to share it with you and everyone else. Especially now that the world is closer than ever to total destruction. I think we've lost about over half of the Earth's biodiversity in the past 30 to 35 years, which is absolutely brutal. And how does the world react? Well, not good enough for my liking. So I'm on a mission here to show everybody that we don't have to be brutal. We can be beautiful, Christ-like human beings. There's two eyes are. And we can strive to become like Christ, the perfect human being. There's his eyes, nose, and his mouth is here. And his beard is here. Hopefully God will open your minds and your hearts to his enlightenment. I suppose you could call it enlightenment when you start seeing the truth, literally. Because Jesus Christ is the way, the light, and the truth. Do I ever have my homework cut out for me today? I've got 101 examples to show you. So, take a closer look here. This is another example we've got here. Example number 7. And you kind of have to tilt your head for this one, but you can see his eyes, nose, mouth, and beard. Right there. Let me take the paint off. And we'll go in for a closer look. And I will highlight his eyes, nose, mouth, and beard. You know, this might be a new thing to you, and you might not know a thing about it. Sometimes I can see him crying. Sometimes I see him spitting. Sometimes he looks like he's very angry or very happy. And it's really the center of my life now. And I know that he makes me behave a lot better than I used to when I wasn't looking at him. There's his eyes. And his eyes. So tilt your head, look at the paint while I take it off. And hopefully you can see what I'm seeing. Or at least you can believe in the truth that Jesus Christ does let us see him before we die. Just like he said in Matthew chapter 16:28. I tell you the truth. Matthew 16:28. I tell you the truth. Some who are standing here will not taste death before they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom. So some people don't really understand that, and they say, well, that was when, Jesus did the transfiguration and his clothes turned white. So the rest of us are out of luck, because who was it? Peter and James got to see who came down? Moses and Elijah. So supposedly to those people, that was the coming of the Son of Man in his kingdom. 2 guys come down, chat a little bit. Dun dun. That's it. That's all, folks. No, that is a gross misinterpretation of many churches that exist today. And unfortunately for them, they may never see the light. which is Jesus Christ's mission here. He came here so that we could see, and what was it? So that his followers could see and the world would be blind. Right? Isn't that how it works? Like, you see God's face everywhere, you gotta think there's a hell. Alright, so you're blind. You cannot continue sinning because it means that you're gonna go to hell. Cannot logically continue sinning because you've been blinded. And those who wish to do well and have a good life, those people see, like, hey, I will be paid for the good things that I do on this planet. In this lifetime, God will reward me for all the suffering that evil people put me through. That's what this means. This is security in God's existence, that if you want to do bad, you're not going to see your lies anymore, okay? You're going to realize that, yeah, you'll pay dearly for all the pain that you cause people. And if you want to lead a good life, you've got the confirmation that you will be rewarded for the suffering you've gone through at the hands of evil people, and for the good deeds that you do in secret in front of God. Right. So there's his eyes, his nose, his mouth, and his beard. Okay, so take a close look at that. When I take the paint off, you can see what happens when we obey Jesus Christ. He lets us see him. And I'm going to quote him on that. He says in John chapter 14, verse 19, "Before long, the world will not see me anymore, but you will see me. Because I live, you also will live." So that means that it's something that's just going to keep happening. You will see me. There isn't a point when we will not see him, is what the Lord says. We will see him. Those who obey him will see him, like I'm showing you today. I never saw him when I did not obey him. But upon obedience to Jesus Christ, and he has a long list of chores that we have to do, upon obedience to him, guess what? He let me see him. He didn't let me see his works. No, anybody can see his works. Just open your eyes. Wow, look at the beautiful trees and the birds and the blue sky and how beautiful everything he has done is. But it's not the same as seeing him. And that's his promise. So I'll just read on from John 14. I'll follow up verse 19 with verse 20. "On that day you will realize that I am in my Father, and you are in me, and I am in you." Verse 21, "Whoever has my commands and keeps them is the one who loves me. The one who loves me will be loved by my Father, and I too will love them and show myself to them." Which is why I can show you his face. I'm not showing you just his work here. I'm showing you God, his real face, thanks to his grace that he has given me to obey him, which I have obtained by asking his Son, Jesus Christ, to help me to obey his commands. I know what he wants. Here's his nose. I know exactly what Jesus Christ wants. He wants me to do the will of his Father. And what's the will of his Father? To believe in Jesus Christ. Because if we believe in Jesus Christ, then we can be perfect human beings by his grace. Perfect. And do you think a perfect human being would destroy a river so he could buy a swimming pool? Something that I assure you happens daily today. No, a perfect human being respects themselves, respects their surroundings, and respects all life, especially the supreme being God, whose face I'm showing you right now. I'm not saying that I'm better than anybody. Definitely not. I'm a human being just like everyone else is. But it's like if you drink a bunch of alcohol, you're gonna get drunk, right? So if one person drinks a bottle of whiskey and the other person does not, then the person who drinks the bottle of whiskey will be drunk, and the person who does not drink whiskey will not be drunk. And it's the same thing. If you believe in Jesus Christ, if you really, really believe in him, not just fake it and go to church and say, I believe, I believe. If you believe in him, you're going to believe that you're going to go to hell if you do not do what he says. And you're going to live in eternal paradise and heaven on earth here if you do what he says. So you're going to ask him to do what he says. That's what you're going to do. And then, when you do that, oops, this is the wrong color. There's his nose. Then when you do that, then he's going to let you see his face and everything. Then you're going to be more determined than ever to do the good things that he told us to do and not to do. To fulfill all his commandments. Then you're going to live in paradise, and you're not going to care if you live or die. Because living in service to God is paradise already. And when you die, all that hard work that you did and all those persecutions that you received are going to be paid up. I'm telling you that you'd make the richest man in the world look like a bum. Because what you're earning serving Jesus Christ is an eternal treasure that just gets better and better and better the braver you are in his service. Don't misunderstand me. I'm not talking about being stupid and disobeying him. I'm talking about treating others how you want to be treated. You see a poor person without food, you don't let that happen around you. And then the light of heaven will light your eyes. You'll see Jesus Christ in everything, and nothing will be able to take that happiness away from you. Isn't that what church is all about? Isn't it about spirituality? That's what you're supposed to learn, right? You're supposed to feel all spiritual and happy. And be full of peace and love. Let me tell you, Jesus Christ gives you all of that. When you see him, you become like him, and you become a rebel against evil. And it's such an adventure. It is paradise. I think I'm in the highest level of heaven right now. Sometimes it's a little hard for me to fully understand it, but, if I just ask the Lord to let me just believe in the truth, then I can kind of catch up to what's happening. Like, I'm suffering for the Son of God and his kingdom and the salvation of souls for all eternity. I'm fighting for my species. That's why the enemy gets these people to come against me with such hatred. When I realize the truth about that, I'm just flying, Okay. Let's move on here with this. So I'm gonna highlight here. Now, this is gonna take a while. You might want to press pause and come back. I don't know. There's his nose, his mouth. And it might seem a little strange to you, but, it's strange because you haven't seen an omnipresent face before. Okay? I have. I've been seeing this omnipresent face since 2002, since the spring of 2002, and it's full omnipresent glory. So trust me, this is God's face. I've been looking at him for a long time. It may seem a little strange to you, but if you're going to look at an omnipresent face, do you figure it would be any different? If you're going to look at Jesus the way he told us that we would, like lightning lights up the sky from one end of the earth to the other, how do you figure it's going to be any different? Alright, let's zoom out. Whoopsie daisy. Oh, I lost control. What have I done? Okay, I'm going to press pause. Moving on. About 28 minutes into this, and I've only got to picture 12, and I've got 101 pictures in total. This is going to take a while. Well, it's not like I'm showing you anything, that would be less exciting than anything else. Like, hello, this is God's face, your creator. There's nothing more amazing than God. So, let's take the paint off, zoom right in there, and I might have to make this like a few part video, I don't know. Anyways, let me put the nose paint on for you. Green. So you can see this part here is his nose. And his eyes. I might have even made a mistake compared to the original trace that I did there. His eye, and his eye right here. And I actually kind of forget the original trace, but at this moment I can see his mouth right here. Yeah, sometimes you kind of don't know which one to show, because it's omnipresent, so it's pretty easy to look at one that you weren't looking at before. Okay, look at his face, in different places than you were looking at him before. I'll take off the paint. Ta-da! Is that obvious or what? Okay. Uh-oh. I did the no. Okay. We zoomed in. We're zooming out. And we're out again. I totally messed that one up. Did I? No, I didn't. Oh, yeah, I did. That's okay. I'm sure you can see that too. So, you know what? I'm going to start doing a different technique, because you've seen how I highlight it, and that takes a really long time. Many of you may have already left, because, I don't know, people don't appreciate, what they should in life. Like, hello, God's face. What do you say to a guy? Alright. So I can take it off and put it on. You can see it. I can see his face and everything. Maybe I'll zoom in a little bit. See down there. And take the paint off. Take a quick look at that. Put the paint on. Take it off. Alright, next one. You can just pause the video and, become like him. That's what he said. Jesus Christ actually promised that when we look at him, we become like him, which is an awesome promise. That's actually John chapter 12, verse 45. When he looks at me, he sees the one who sent me. And I thought that was how I was going to quote, that when he looks at me, he becomes like me. Maybe it was a different translation. I don't know. Check that out. John 12:45. I think mankind has had enough. Take my word for it. We need to see some hardcore proof, like eyes, nose, mouth, and beard proof, Yeah, this is amazing. Okay, so I show you 101 times. I don't know if God's going to open people's minds now or not. I really hope so. He told me that people are going to repent. So I hope that it's upon the publication of this video. So I'm really hitting a sensitive spot, People are like, hey, wait a minute. We've been told that it's good to believe that this painting comes from God, because, we're really scrambling. We're really scrambling to find evidence of God, so you gotta say that you believe this is divine, otherwise people won't believe in God. Yeah, we should not be scrambling. Definitely not. This is one that I want to highlight for you. We should be anything, but scrambling to try and find proof of God's existence, because his face is omnipresent. Human beings, what does that say for human beings? Like, God's face has been everywhere our whole lives. I think I've already shown you this one before. Anywho, God's face has been present, in everything. our entire lives, but most people never even seen him once. I'm so angry that I had to find out this for myself. Like, what a pathetic civilization we have. You know? Like, why is this not, like, the most important thing that anyone ever learns in school, you know? It definitely should be. Like, okay, welcome to kindergarten. You know God's face is everywhere, right? Okay. Okay, can you show me his face is everywhere? Okay, that's the first test that we'll ever get, right? Okay, I gotta pause it because I'm losing control on this, I think. No, got it back. Not pausing it. Yeah. Why? Why do people say they're so, Christ's followers and everything, and like his promise, the good news is that we can see him and believe in him. It's not, hey, we can sin and get away with it. That's not it. That's not the good news. So I'm blinding a lot of people right now. That's what Christ came to do. I'm pretty glad that I'm helping him do that. Nah, you're not going to get away with hurting people every day. You're going to pay for every word. Just like Jesus Christ said. Try and build a church, like as if I'm trying to build a church. Like, everyone hates me for that. They're like, hey Drew, we like doing bad stuff. And I obviously don't like it. I think it's pathetic. It's worse than the demons. The demons don't even attack themselves. Like, come on. Like, how low can you go? And people just indiscriminately, like, I don't feel good unless I make other people feel bad, so I'm just going to do it all day long. What a load of garbage. Like, what a pathetic excuse for a human being, Like, how can you justify that, especially now? Because I'm blinding you. Look, we can see God. Forget the doctrine that the churches who've murdered hundreds of million people have told you. Forget that, because it's not true. You're going to go to hell for doing bad things. Just like Jesus Christ said. And this is 100% in your face proof of that. I'm so happy that I get a hand in this, There's no way that humankind is gonna be able to say no to this forever, This is the future. And there's just no two ways about it. Like, why can I show you that God's face is everywhere? Okay, so here's his beard down here. And most people, they'd probably just like turn it off and be like, oh, you know what? I like the murderous horror doctrine where I can just get away with whatever I want because I'm just going to be forgiven and that's it. But I'm here to tell you that if you're not looking at Christ, you're not, his follower. And his followers are the only ones that are going to make it. Plain and simple. And you hear that from like church leaders and stuff. Like, you don't even need Christ to be saved. And, that's Christ's whole message is believe in me and you'll be saved, right? not believing a lie about him. I think I'm revealing that a lot of people have just straight up believed in lies about him. How they couldn't see him, and that he just gave us all those things to do just because he was bored or something. No, he actually gave us all of those things that he wants us to do, which are against our nature and impossible to do without his help, because that's the only way that we're ever going to live forever. Do you expect you're going to live forever? Like, welcome to heaven. Yeah, you can keep manipulating little children and murmuring behind people's backs and hating good. No, you have to learn all that stuff. You have to learn how to love good, how to do good things. And this is like the green light. Okay, you're doing what I say. Oh, you get to see me now. Yes, you do. That's God's promise. We get to see him, just like he said. So, even the apostles confirmed it. Jesus Christ promised it. King David prophesied it. Do you want to hear where King David prophesied it and the apostles verified that? I think it was Pentecost when a large number of converts were gained for this new following of Jesus Christ. In Acts chapter 2, verse 25, David said about him, I saw the Lord always before me. Because he is at my right hand, I will not be shaken. So he says, see the Lord. See the Lord always before him. So how exactly are you going to do that without seeing his omnipresent face? Is there any other formula that you posers out there have got for this? Yeah, I'm actually angry with you, people who do not believe this, because it's so black and white. I saw the Lord always before me, so what do you expect? He's like in some kind of cage in front of me or something, and I just got him hanging there all the time? What do you expect? You have no rock to hide under. He's talking about seeing his omnipresent face, just like I'm showing you. And you could see him too, if you would believe in him and ask him for his help to obey him, because, as we've seen before, he only shows himself to those who obey him. And people will say, you evil man, but a false prophet steals your faith in Jesus Christ and discourages you from obeying him. And I, quite to the contrary, show you that Jesus Christ is real and that you should obey him, because when you do, you'll be in paradise. You don't have to die to go to paradise. You raging posers. Like, what's your excuse for not believing in Jesus when he said the kingdom of heaven is closer than you think? What do you think, you gotta take a left and a right at the McDonald's to get there? No. He's talking about giving us paradise right now. Right here, right now. You're missing the biggest battle of eternity. You could be battling for good, for the light, showing people that we can see Jesus Christ, and that's the light. But you know what? I can't even blame you for being posers, because for like the last 700 years, I think, there have been people killing people like me for that same reason. But you know what? Their time is over. Because the Lord said to me, anyone who would harm one of these animals will turn into what they were. He's not going to take it anymore. Anyone who would harm one of his followers now will turn into what they were. Dust. We've crossed the threshold now. Nobody can hurt us. Nobody can stop us now. Let's do this. I'm pretty sure that was like a universal thing that God told everybody. He's been speaking a lot lately. And look, if we don't turn around, we're going to end up killing everything. The ocean, all the fresh water, everything. And I'm not going to stick my head in the sand. And I'm not going to hide in a cave. I'm going to show people the light. And I hope that you will help me. Look. Eyes, nose, mouth, and beard. Look very closely. When I take off the paint, you can see that, at least get a hint. I hope God enlightens you that what I'm saying is the truth, and that you've been robbed. Your whole life you've been robbed. You should be furious that your life would have been in paradise, and you would have been happy every day of your life if you would have known this. If you had not been taught a lie about Jesus Christ your whole life, you would have been happy, and you would have been helping others your whole life, building your treasure instead of wasting it on sin, as they've tricked you into doing, which I can't blame them for, because hundreds of millions of real Christians had been killed up to about, I don't know when that was, about 2 years ago, when God just had enough, you know. And I'm pretty sure even guys like the Pope want me dead. Of course they do. They don't want people knowing that we can see God everywhere. How are they going to collect their money when they know that the church is everywhere? But I saw the Pope's yellow teeth right in front of me in the cheap, non-regional disguise beard that he was wearing one day when I was driving down the road on a regular route that his goons scoped out, I suppose, so that he could be a coward in front of me and not even have the guts to talk to me after I showed him God's face 83 times in his crucifix. You can check it out on my other videos. I sent it to him every day for like 6 months on his Twitter. And he showed up here, and I had no clue that he had yellow teeth. And I was like, just really surprised to see some like Amish man or something with like a weird beard walking down the street when I was taking a ride. And I looked at him real close and I thought, like, what's that guy? You know, is he a bum or something? And then I realized later when I was like half a kilometer away, was that the Pope? Does the Pope have yellow teeth? Yes, he does. And he can't do a thing about what I'm doing right now. He can't do a thing about what Jesus Christ is doing with me. And he's showing you the light of heaven, that you can see it. You don't have to pay anybody. And that you're wrong about Jesus Christ and why he came. Just look. Look at the shadows and the lines and everything. You can see that I'm definitely looking at something here. Alright, I'm not just making this up. I can see his eyes, nose, mouth, and beard and everything, and you should be too. But thanks to the slaughter of real Christians, this truth has been hidden, but their time is done. They're on their way out. Their time ran out, and Christ has given us his protection to proceed with this. Otherwise, I'd be dead. And if something's worth dying for, this is. So let yourself, your friends, and your family know that we can see God in everything. It might be a little hard for you to believe me, but just try, like for yourself, for humanity, for Jesus Christ who came here to give you this blessing. Don't waste it. You could live forever and live in paradise right now. Your depression will go right away when you start obeying Jesus Christ. I was depressed once, but I started obeying Jesus Christ and my depression melted like wax upon obeying him. You see, that's the key. You must obey him. And then you get all of his good promises. Look at this. Is this not completely obvious that I am seeing his face and everything? Look. Eyes, nose, mouth, and beard. Do yourself a huge favor and commit to this truth, to this light. You want happiness, you want peace, you want love, joy, adventure, all the good stuff. And Jesus Christ is the only one who's going to give it to you. And he's not going to give it to you if you're not going to obey him. Because he doesn't like evil. He doesn't reward evil. He rewards good. And you can only do good if you ask him for his help. And then he'll open your eyes and the light of heaven will light your eyes. And you'll see that you've got something to live for. And it's so obvious. Look, I'm gonna zoom in right here, just as a break here. Show you what you should have been looking at your whole lives. So I can highlight right here his eyes and his nose. So I really hope that right now, is the time that Jesus Christ was talking about when he told me that everyone's going to repent. Soon, he said, soon. I really hope that it's right now. There's his eyes, nose, and mouth, and his beard. It's right here. I was just looking for a different tool because I wish I could freehand highlight this, but I don't know how to. Okay, eyes, nose, mouth, and beard. Look at it real closely. I erase it, and then you can see what I'm talking about. This is real deal enlightenment that has been stolen from you your parents, your children, all your friends, grandparents. Who is talking about this? Why? Why do I have to do this? Simple. Because you've been robbed. You've had the light of heaven stolen from you. I'm trying to give it back. And I hope that it's working. So hold on a second. I gotta get this back into focus. Oh, like that. Okay, I'm gonna pause it. Okay, I got it back under control. You can see here another example. I mean, look. Okay, take off the paint. Zoom in. And you can see eyes, nose, mouth, and beard. Or at least you should see that I can see you. Let's move on. Sorry, flip back to that one. Just watch. Paint on, paint off. Paint on, paint off. Put it back on, take it back off. Paint on, paint off. Alright, let's keep moving. This is a profile shot. Paint on, paint off. Paint on, paint off. You can see his lips, open lips, like he's screaming. Paint on, paint off. Can you see him now? Look, red is his lips. Paint off. Oh. Again. I could have put another eye right here, I suppose. Actually, I can do that. Let's do that. Hopefully I won't freeze it again. Use freehand. And use a freehand eye right here. Right here. Alright, so let's get out of this method and paint off. Cut. Here's close up. His face is going to be under this paint here in a second. Show you. His big smile, nose, eyes, mouth, beard. See it? You can see his eyes, nose, mouth, and beard. Should be able to, anyways. Want me to highlight it again? Sure. I'll highlight it here. His eyes are right here. And his nose is right here. And his mouth is right here. And his beard is right here. I'm going to take off the paint. And you can easily see that. Okay, let's keep rolling. We're at 45 and I've got 101. So if I put the paint on and take it off multiple times, you can see that, right? Right there. This is huge for Mexicans, by the way. Basically, all Mexicans have one of these pictures in their houses. And you know, we're not ignorant farmers anymore. Maybe people might start to get upset, you know? Like, what exactly did they do? about 200 years ago? What did they do to my ancestors? Oh, they showed them a painting, basically. And they said that this painting was going to protect them against armed soldiers with rifles and cannons. Even though they were just going to go and attack these soldiers with rocks and sticks. Sticks and rocks. And guess how many died? Hundreds of thousands of them died. And then eventually the church took over. And most people live in poverty today. But they celebrate this painting as if it were something great. Isn't that ridiculous? We killed your ancestors with this, you fools. I'm sure they laugh and laugh and laugh at how stupid everyone is. To this day. But we're getting into the information age now, where other people's opinions can be broadcast across the country. And evil deeds can be exposed once and for all. Once and for all. I might have to zoom in on this, because it's a little light. And I'll use this. So his eyes right here. This is great. You can even see his two nostrils here. Look. Nostrils. Alright, there. Actually, I need a darker green color for the nostrils. Okay, dark green for the nostrils. And his mouth. And his beard. Oh, I think I should have done his beard first. I wonder if the red will show up. Yeah, it does. So you can see up God's nose. And I'm not playing around. Many times you can see up his nose, you can see his teeth, his tongue. You know, it's not a vague thing. And it's definitely not a random thing. I hope that comes across today to everybody. If I can show you 101 times where I see God's face, including his nostrils sometimes, you've got to be one piece of work to not believe me. You know? Like, come on. So we gotta look closely here. Okay. So we're gonna look for his mouth right here. Just try to focus on his mouth. Take the paint off. Alright, his mouth is right there. And you can look up, see his nose and eyes, and below his beard. And people, you know, that don't want to be blinded will be like, well, you can see anything you want, man. No, you cannot. Show me a giraffe once in this thing, or yeah, you're trying to show me a giraffe 101 times, right? Okay, or 10 times, or 5 times, or twice. The 5 most prevalent characteristics of a giraffe. 5 times. I can show you the 5 most prevalent characteristics, the 5 main characteristics of God's face. 101 times. Just put your money where your mouth is and show us a giraffe. 5 times, just 5. Long neck, horns, stained body, and hooves. Alright? got a problem, shut your mouth. Right? Got a problem with putting your money where your mouth is, shut your mouth. Okay, here's his beard. Right here. And his mouth right here. And his nose right here. His nose. And his eyes. Where do you figure his eyes are? Under his mouth? Nope. They're where they should be. Above his nose. And watch when I erase it. See his mouth. You can see the crack of his mouth right there. Now I'm showing you an omnipresent face. God's omnipresent face. So, you know, if someone tries to show you an omnipresent face better than this, then let me know, okay? Let me know. If you can show me an omnipresent face better than me, you know, it might seem ridiculous to you. That's my point. It might seem ridiculous. Like, hey, wait a minute, I'm that stupid? Yeah, you are. You're a human being. Everybody is that stupid, unless we ask for help from Jesus Christ. Half the world has been killed in 30 years. If anything is obvious about being human, it's that we are complete morons. We're destroying this beautiful home of ours at a phenomenal rate. Phenomenal. Which is just absolutely ridiculously stupid, and nobody cares about it. Just as stupid, it's not anywhere near as stupid, as the fact that God's face is everywhere. The Bible is the most printed book in the world, as far as I know it still is. And I gotta do this and show you God's face is everywhere. You have no excuse other than you're a human being and you know nothing about yourself. You only know what the murderous whore churches have taught you to keep you their slaves. Keep you going to them. I need your help. If I give you money, will I go to heaven and paradise? I'm so miserable. What can I do but go to this murderous whore that has murdered hundreds of millions of people to give you the false doctrine of Christ that you got stuck in your heads today? I need to zoom in on this here. See his eyes, nose, mouth, and beard. I guess it's all about waking up today, right? You look at the internet, you look at people trying to preach truth, and it's like, wake up. And they're all like, yeah, I'm so awake, but, you know, God's face is in everything, and you never even seen it once. And it's our only hope. Our only hope is to ask Jesus Christ for his help, or we're all dead. We're going extinct. But don't worry, it's gonna happen. Have no fear. Christ will save us. Well, I'm at picture number 56. So I've shown you Christ's face 56 times. I wish I had some music or something to share with you. We're at an hour 10. Kind of speed it up. I think I was kind of aiming for like a 2-hour video or less. Might be able to pull it off. I'm totally gonna paint this on my shirt. Totally. So here he's got like a smile and it's like blood running out of his mouth. But it's like the spiritual blood, you know? I figure that this is gonna get to a lot of people. Send the murderous whore running away, packing its bags, never to come back. Look, here we can see his tongue coming out. Isn't that hilarious? Like his eyes, his nose, his mouth, his tongue sticking out like na 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 boo boo. Totally working the murderous whore. Go away forever. We're gonna beat it. We definitely are. So I'm gonna show you this tongue action here. Alright, here, okay, hold on a second, let me highlight this. Some people might actually be interested in this at this point in time. I'm pretty sure everyone will be interested in it in the future. So just bear with me here, I'm gonna show you the nose. And I believe the lips I've gotta just trace. I'm gonna trace the lips because it's not really something to highlight. Okay, see that? And then the beard is a line, so I've gotta draw that line there. And the tongue is gonna be pink. He's sticking his tongue out because I'm pretty sure that he's so happy about the victory that he's using me and many other brave souls to bring over the murderous whore that's murdered real Christians and spread lies about him. Are you kidding me? It's gotta go down. Let's go down. What's next here? Oh, that's a little example. I wonder if you can see it. Okay, keep an eye on it. On the example. Keep an eye on him. It's actually him. God's face. You can see his eyes, nose, mouth, and beard. If it wasn't totally obvious, I'm going to highlight it for you anyways. Because I might not do another English video about this topic again. Whoops daisy. That was not what I wanted to do. I want to highlight it this time. Okay. Highlight his eyes, his nose, his mouth, and his beard. Okay, so if I take that off, should be able to see. Everybody sees that? Okay, great. Just gonna zoom in a little bit, so keep your eyes on them. So obvious, eyes, nose, mouth, and beard. I guess we're into the little ones. I probably already lost most people's attention. Well, at this point in time, I'm pretty sure in the future everyone will be listening to every word of this. Okay, go again here. Just keep an eye on them, so I don't have to zoom in on them too much. Alright, you see him? His eyes, his nose, his mouth, and his beard. I'm gonna highlight this for you. I just think that deserves some attention. Okay, so there's his beard, and I believe I have to use highlighter here. Okay, I'll highlight his eyes, and I'll highlight his nose and his mouth. Right here. Okay. How's that? I actually remembered that I've got something to do, so I've got to hurry up. Okay. These are a bunch of little ones, so I'm just going to zoom in. Yeah, I don't know how to like pause this and keep going, so I'm just going to try and finish it real quick. Okay. If you want, you can pause it. And, yeah, soak it all in. Sorry for not being homogeneous, but I think I've made my point pretty clear. Oh, look at this. I like this one. In his face? Yeah. God's real face and his fake one. I gotta highlight this. So, yeah, his mouth is here. His eye. And his eye is this part of his hair right here. And his other eye is this part of his hair. Whoa, it's starting to be a little bit clear, huh? And this is his nose. Right there. And his beard is the yellow part that I'm going to highlight for you. Right here. So watch very closely. I'm going to... Oh no. I'm going to erase it, okay? Watch close. Ta-da! Yeah. Okay. Actually, you know what? I want to get a real close look at that. Okay, I'm going to do it again because it's really important. God's real face and his fake face, alright? That's what we'll call this. So his beard is this part like around here, okay? And we'll move to highlighting so I don't... There. So his beard is like here. And his mouth is right here. And his nose is right here. And his eyes are these little patches of hair right here. Alright. So take a close look. I'm going to erase it. Voila! God's real face and his fake face. Hey, God doesn't want us to kill people. Believe that's one of the commandments. Okay, I gotta wrap this up here. Lucky's spitting here. So keep an eye on that. There you go. And here, it's a little example you can see. Eyes, nose, mouth, and beard. Keep moving. Okay. You can see his big mouth right there. He's screaming right there. Okay. Eyes, nose, mouth, and beard. There's his mouth. Just look up, see his nose and eyes, and down to see his beard. Moving pretty fast, head. That's okay. Oh, there's a hidden eye back there, but didn't get that. That's alright. I think you get the message. You see his eyes, nose, mouth, and beard. Okay, I'm really rolling. I want to upload this before I do something here. Oh, that's a little hard to see. You gotta have really good definition for that. See his mouth right there? There's his mouth right here. I think I'm going to set this to music too, so it'll be like a rave video or something in the future. I would love to have this as a rave video. That'd be cool. I might do it better. If it actually becomes popular, I might come back and like retouch it or something. Or maybe like learn how to do it. There's an idea. There's probably cool techniques and stuff to do this. Oh, you gotta love this one. I'm gonna highlight it for you. I don't care. I'm gonna be late, but must highlight this. Must highlight my good God's face. His eyes. It'll just take a second. His nose. His mouth. And his beard. Voila. You gonna erase it? Good. Crystal clear, everybody. Oh, this is just a profile. But majorly obvious when you know what you're looking for. And that's all, folks. Thank you very much. Please, for your own sake and the sake of Jesus Christ and the sake of your family and all life that exists, ask Jesus Christ to help you obey Him. So you do everything that He says in the Bible? Dig? I really hope so.